Hello everyone, welcome back to EduDose. So this is the part 2 of the electricity chapter that we have discussed in the earlier class. So in this class we will discuss about the conductors. Let's have a review that what we are going to discuss in this class: conductors, insulators, and we will discuss the potential, that is what electric potential and potential difference. So this is much that we are going to discuss. So let's start. So conductors and insulators. So conductors are the substances through which electricity can flow. So electricity if flows from the conductors, so then if you are seeing here that there is a picture of the plug here, so you can see that the conductor is what, this plastic layer, and there is another plastic layer in the aluminum wire. In the copper wire, the plastic or rubber layer is there, that is known as insulators. So insulators are the substances that cannot flow or which do not allow the electricity to flow through them is what, insulators. So there is what, a thick plastic rubber outer layer for the insulator, which we know that is what, this black layer is what done by, so that the wire can be insulated and we cannot get a current. So as our body is also a conductor, so we will get current if we touches the electricity. So as we are seeing here that if there is a picture that is given here, so if we see here that here the electricity is what, blocked because of the insulating ceramics, that is what, this yellow cuboidal shaped ceramic is here because this is what, an insulator. And here when a metal is used as a conductor, here the electricity is passed and the bulb glowed. But in case of insulator, as it not passes the electricity, the bulb don't glow. So as I have told you that in the conductors the electricity flows, but in the insulator it doesn't flow. So what is the reason that conductors can flow the electricity and the insulators cannot? So let's see it. So here you can see that there is an insulated copper wire, and in the insulated copper wire there are some electrons, or you can say some free electrons. So in the conductors the free electrons are present that allow the electricity to pass through them. So as we are seeing here that in the insulator there are no free electrons present, so that the electricity cannot pass through them. But in the case of conductors there are free electrons present that allow the electrical current or electricity to pass through them and they can flow the electricity. So the main reason so that the electricity can flow is what, the free electrons. So what are the free electrons? Why the conductors are having free electrons? Let's see. So if we draw an atom, so if there is an atom, any atom, let's name the atom A, and it is having some electrons in it. So let's draw some electrons in this atom. So if we thought that there are some atoms in it, I am not drawing the atom right, but I am just drawing the diagram here. So if we see that the atom is having some electrons, and some electrons of in the last shell are loosely bounded. These electrons are loosely bounded. So we can see that if these electrons are loosely bounded, so when they will have some energy, or when the energy can be given to them, these loosely bounded valence electrons will move from the valence shell here. So these loosely bounded electrons will only be named as the free electrons, because when these electrons, the loosely bounded electrons, when get the energy, they become free electrons. As they become free from the valence shell, so they become a free electron, so that the electricity can pass through them. But in case of the insulators, if we see that the insulators they are having no loosely bounded electrons, because in case of insulator, the electrons that are present in the insulator are strongly held by the nuclei of their atoms. So there are no free electrons in an insulator which can move from one atom to the other. So an insulator doesn't allow electric charges to flow through it. So on this basis, the electricity can be classified into two parts. That is what, first is what, static energy, and the second is what, current electricity. So in this chapter we are going to understand the current electricity. So let's start. So the first topic for the current electricity is what, electric potential. So this is what the notes for that we have studied. So the electric potential. So if we talk about the electric potential, we will understand this topic in a very easy manner so that we can easily have a conceptual clarity of the topic and also have a easy explanation. So let's take some examples to understand the electric potential first. So as we know that everything in nature has a tendency to move from higher level to a lower level. So everything moves from higher level to lower level. So if we take an example of the arrow current, that is what, the rate of flow of air. So if we think that the arrow current is what, the rate of flow of air, means the flow of air or the flow of wind. So it also moves from higher pressure to a lower pressure. As we have seen that everything in the nature has a tendency to move from its lower level to higher level. So the rate of flow of air also moves from higher pressure to a lower pressure. Or let's take an example of the hydro current. That is what, hydro current. That is what, the rate of flow of water in a pipe. So the rate of flow of water, if we are taking an example that there are two things, that is what, A, and there is what, B, and if the B is somehow at a higher level from B and there is a pipe that is joined between A and B, and if we see that the water will flow from high level to low level, as we know that everything has a tendency. So the water will move from A to B, not the water will move from B to A, but it will easily be moving from the A to B. So the thing is that everything moves from high level to low level. So as we are studying electricity, so let's discuss the topic as in terms of electricity only. So the example to electricity is what, charge. If we will take the example of charge here, that the charge is what, charge will move from higher concentration of charges to a lower concentration of charges. So let's understand things in a better way. So if we take the example, that is what, charge, if we are talking about in terms of electricity, so that is what, charge. So charge will also move from higher concentration to a area of lower concentration of the charge. So the concentration of charge, so the concentration of charges or charge in a body is known as potential. So the concentration, or you can say, now you can change the term concentration to that higher potential to lower potential. So now the charge will move from higher potential to area of lower potential. As we know that the concentration of charge is what? We named it as the potential. So the charge will move from higher potential to an area of lower potential. So if we take an example that a charge is at infinity, the charge is placed at infinity and we want to bring this charge at a point A. There is a point named A and we want to bring the charge at A. So if we are saying that when things have a tendency of moving higher level to a lower level, they will move easily. From higher level to lower level they can come easily. But if we do the inverse thing, we will bring the things from lower level to the point of higher thing. So it will want some energy, or you can say that you will do some work so that you can bring the lower level thing to a higher level. So in this case also we are assuming that infinity is having a lower concentration or lower level, and A point is what? Higher concentration area or higher level area. So if we want to take this charge and move this charge from lower level to a higher region, we need some work. So the work that is done to bring a unit charge or a unit positive charge from infinity to that point is known as electric potential. So here you can say that if we are bringing this charge from infinity to a point A, we need to do some work. So the work done will be that amount of the charge only. So as we take an example to understand this thing, so if we take an example that there is a material of 10 kg and you have to pick it up and bring to a point named A. To bring to a point A, you will need some work also to move this thing or move this particular material. So we will do the work of 10 kg only. We will do the work of 10 kg only to bring this material to point A. And then if we will increase the amount of material, we will make it 20. So then the work done will also become the double of the same material. So means the work done, so the work we will do will also be 20 kg because we have to move the material that is what? 20 kg only. So the work is what? Dependent upon the weight of the material here. So we can see that if we want to bring this charge from the infinity to work to the point A, the work is what? The amount of charge will be there. So the charge, if we take that, the charge is what? 10, and then we will take this, the work will also be 10. The work will also be 10 coulomb. So if we say that the charge is what? About 10 coulomb, and we are taking the 10 coulomb charge to a point A from the infinity, we will have to do the work of 10 only. So if we are saying that, so the work is dependent upon the amount of material we are taking from. So we can give a relation to this. We can give a relation to this work and material. So the relation to work and material is known as potential. So the relation that we are giving, to the things, that is what? To bring the charge from the infinity to the point A by doing some work will be what? Potential is equals to work done upon per unit charge. So it can also be written as V is equals to W upon Q, where potential is known also as voltage, as the SI unit of potential is what? Voltage, and the work is what? Joule, and per unit charge is what? Coulomb. The SI unit of charge is what? Coulomb. So we will know the SI unit of potential will be what? Joule per coulomb minus 1. So this is what the SI unit of coulomb, but joule per coulomb is not the term that we can say. So SI unit of potential is what? Volt. That means volt is equals to joule per coulomb minus 1. So SI unit of potential is what? 1 volt. So you can say that potential is a scalar quantity and the SI unit of potential is what? Volt. The things that you should remind I am writing here. And 1 volt is what? 1 joule per 1 coulomb. Okay, and the formula for potential is what? V is equals to W upon Q, and potential is also known as voltage. So as we have discussed the electric potential, we will now discuss the potential difference. So the potential, electric potential, this is the notes for the thing that we have studied today. That is what electric potential is. A point in an electric field is defined as the work done in a moving positive charge from infinity to that point or wherever the point we want, or potential is denoted by V, and the unit for potential is what? Volt. 1 potential of volt at a point means 1 joule work is done in moving 1 unit positive charge from infinity to the point, as we have told you later. So let's move ahead and you will get these notes. The link is given in the description box. Please have a view of it. So the next thing is what? Potential difference. So here you can see there is 2 pictures, that is what? A, and the second one is what? B. So here you can see that the A and B are connected with a pipe and there is a tap here so that the water can flow. But you can see that A is more filled than of B. So the region what is that? The higher level is what? Of water is what? At A, and the lower level of water is at B. So the water will flow from A to B. As we have studied the tendency of water also, that it will flow from higher level to lower level. So the water will flow from A to B here. So the potential difference we will take as if we open this tap, so the water will flow from A to B at that much, at when the so the water will flow from that much level when these two A and B will come at a same level. Means the level of A and B will be same, then only the flow of water will stop when A and B will come upon same level. So this is what the example here, that the water will flow at that much level when A and B will come at same level here. So the potential difference, as we have studied or as we have learnt in the earlier slides, that in the charge that we are taking from infinity, so if we are taking the charge or moving the charge from infinity to a point named A, and if we are taking it once, and in the second time when we are taking it or moving it, it comes to a point B. So when the point or when the charge comes to a point B, as we have to take it to the A, but it stops at B only, so the difference between the A and B can be take the difference as the difference of, so the difference between the points A and B can be taken as V is equals to VA minus VB. So this is what the potential difference is. So if we take another example, that is what, if there is a circle which is having higher potential, and there is the another circle that is what having lower charges, or you can say lower level of charges, so it will have lower potential. So as we are seeing that this circle is having a lower potential and these two have been joined, and the current is flowing from higher potential to an area of lower potential here. So we can say that this is what the body A, VA, and this is what the body VB. So we can say the potential or the voltage, to take the difference between them, the potential difference will be what? VA minus VB here. So this is what the potential difference. So higher the potential will be, the more current flow will be there. So the potential difference is just the same, that when the potential or the higher potential region to a lower potential region, the charge is flowing here, so the current, or you can say the electrons, will move at that much point when the levels of the current will be same. So the difference of potential between 2 points in an electric field is called potential difference. So let's write the definition of potential difference. So it is what? The difference between 2 points in an electric field is called potential difference. So this is just an easy definition, that the difference between 2 points in an electric field is called potential difference. So it is defined as the work done in bringing a unit charge or unit positive charge from one point to the other point. So that is what we have seen, that we have taken the point, one point was infinity and the other point was point A, and we have taken the points and we have done the work from bringing a unit positive charge from the point 1 to the other, that is what A. So I think you have understood the potential difference in a very easy way. So the notes for the potential difference is this, and you will get these notes from the link given in the description box only. So the work done upon quantity of the charge moved is what? Potential difference. So difference in electric potential between 2 points is known as potential difference. The potential difference between 2 points in an electric circuit is defined as the amount of work done in moving a unit charge from one point to the other. So this is what the thing. And so thank you so much for today. This is it for today. In the next session we will discuss the Ohm's law and the resistance also. This will be on 19th Jan at 1 PM. So please come and watch. Thank you so much for today. Please subscribe to EduRose and share it with your friends and families so that they can also have a benefit of this channel. And please comment me below if you have any query about this chapter or any other chapter. And the website of the link of the website and the link of the notes is given in the description box. Please have a look of it. So thank you so much. Bye bye.